friends, this is the lesson for April 2nd. It's math lesson 15-5. I need you to get out your hard math book and go to pages 322 and 323. That's what we're going to be talking about. But before we do that, I wanted to just show you this picture. Get closer. And I know it doesn't make any sense right now, but coming in the next Abby Science episode, you'll find out what that picture is all about. Okay, so we're going to be finding the area of composite shapes. Remember, composite meant when we put things together. Decompose was when we took something apart. Now, so far we've learned that the area of a rectangle is the length times the width. So we've figured out the area of many rectangles over the last few lessons. Today's lesson, however, we're going to figure out how to find the area of some unusual shapes. So if you look at page 322, the first one looks like a letter T. Now, we do not have a formula for figuring out the area of a letter T shape. So what we have to do is we have to break that shape into two rectangles, and then we can use our formula that we already know for the area of each of the rectangles, and then we are going to add those together. Okay, so the length of this rectangle is 8 inches is our unit, and it says it's 2 inches over here. Then at the bottom, they tell us that this is 4 inches and this is 2 inches. Now, in order to find the area of this rectangle, I would do 2 times 8. And remember our unit, when we have inches times inches, it's square inches. So 2 times 8, it would be 16 square inches. The bottom part is 2 times 4, which would give us 8 square inches. So this piece right here is 16 square inches. This piece is 8. To find the total area, we just would have to add those two together. 16 plus 8 would give us 24 square inches. Okay, friends, so this is number 3 on page 320. I'm sorry, 323. I'm trying to move this so you don't get a glare. Okay, so I've written the shape up here on the board, and what we need to do is we need to divide this into 2 rectangles. There are 2 ways you could do this. You could draw a vertical line from here to here, or you could draw a horizontal line from here to here. Either way, you're making 2 rectangles. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a line across here. Now you need to be careful because yes, there is a 5 over here, but that 5 represents this whole side. When I find the area of this rectangle, I only need the length of this side right here times well, actually that's the width times the length. So I have 4 inches times 3 inches is equal to 12 square inches. So this section right here is 12. Now I have this lower rectangle. It is 2 inches in the width and 7 inches in the length. So I'm going to take that 7 inches times 2 inches, and that's going to give me 14 square inches. In order to find the area of the whole thing, I have to add together the 2 areas of the rectangles. So I would have 12 plus 14 is 26 square inches. Okay, so what I want you to do now is I want you to pause the video. I want you to do number 4. Once you've done that, just get a piece of paper, do number 4. Once you've done that, turn the video back on and you can check your answer. Okay, so you should have done number 4, and I'm going to give you the explanation of the answer and you can check your work. So I've divided my T shape into 2 rectangles. The first rectangle has a length of 7 centimeters and a width of 4 centimeters. In order to find the area of this rectangle, you would do 7 times 4, and that would give you 28 square centimeters. That gives me the area just of this section. Then I need to find the area of this section. Well, the length here is 5 centimeters. The width is 3 centimeters. So I did 5 times 3 is 15, and again, square centimeters. So now I found the area of both of those rectangles. So in order to know the area of the whole shape, I add it together. 28 plus 15 gives me 43 square centimeters. Okay, so now we have number 5 on page 323. This gets a little trickier because now we have sort of a U shape. And we can't divide it into 2 rectangles, so we're going to have to divide it into 3. Now, the beginning is pretty easy. I've drawn the vertical lines here to create the 2 side triangles. And we know that the length is 8 and the width is 2 on both of those. So each one of those would be 8 times 2. And that they would each be 16 square centimeters is our unit. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. You see this 8 here, but that's for the whole line. We don't want that whole line because we've already found the area over here. So luckily for us, they've given us the length of this piece, which is 4. Now we need to know what the width is here. What's the width here? Well, we know this whole side is 8. We know this piece is 6. So that means that this piece here, this extra line that I've drawn, has to be 2. So in order to find the area of this orange rectangle, we would do 4 times 2, and we would get 8. Then we're going to add the 3 rectangles together. 16 plus 16 plus 8 is going to give us 40 square centimeters. All right, so what I need you to do now is do number 6, please, on your paper. And then once you're done, turn the video back on and we'll check it. Okay, guys, this is getting even trickier. So you're going to check your work. If you didn't get it right, no worries, just find your mistakes. So we have like a shape that looks like, I say, like a laying down letter I. I did the 2 edges first, the 2 rectangles on the end. They had a length of 7 and a width of 2. So each of those would be 2 times 7, or 7 times 2 is 14. So we have the 2 blue rectangles are 14. Now the middle rectangle is where it gets tricky because we know that the length is 5, but it doesn't give us the width. We have to figure it out. The whole length of the shape here is 7. And they tell us that these 2 pieces are 2 and 2. So I have to figure out this missing piece. I can add 2 plus 2 plus something is equal to 7. So I need to figure out what that is. So if I do that, I figure out that the number for this width would be 3. Because 2 plus 2 plus 3 equals 7. And these 3 have to add up to the length of this. So I have over here 5 times 3 equals 15. When I add all 3 of the rectangles together, I get 43 square centimeters. Again, if you didn't get it, pause, look over it, see where you went wrong, and find your mistakes. Now you're going to need to get your soft math book out and turn to pages 235 and 236. Okay, so now I'd like you to complete numbers 1 and 2 on page 235. Pause the video, complete those, and then turn the video back on. Okay, guys, here's your answers for number 1 and 2. I divided the rectangle into two rectangles this way. 5 times 2 is 10. 8 times 4 is 32, and got 42 square inches. If you divided the rectangle a different way, but got the same answer, then you're fine. On number 2, I divided it here. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6. And 15 plus 6 is 21 square inches. So if you did it a different way, as long as you got those answers of 21 square inches for number 2 and 42 square inches for number 1, you're good. If you didn't get the answers, go back and figure out what went wrong. Now you're going to complete page 236, and you're going to send it to me so I can check it and make sure you're on the sidewalk. See you tomorrow.